In this lesson, I'm going to show you how to read chord charts, and it's really easy. If you just look at the guitar like this, up and down, this is basically a chord chart. The nut is the thicker line at the top, then the other lines that go across to the frets. The up and down lines are the strings. The dots are where you put your fingers. Most chord charts will either have numbers on the dots or just dots. If they have numbers, it's going to be your fingers, which finger to use most of the time. 1 is the pointer, 2 is the middle finger, 3 is the ring finger, and 4 is the little finger. The O that's at the top of the chart just means you play the string open. Some charts will have X's on the strings you don't play, and other charts just won't have anything. So you might see X's, or you might see the chart without X's, but either way it means the same thing. So this D chord right here, at the top of the chart you see the chord name, and then the numbers are for the fingers, 1 for pointer, 2 for middle, 3 for ring. The O means play it open. And if you see X's, you skip the strings. If you don't see anything, you skip the strings. Now my videos, occasionally I will put a chart up that shows the intervals of a chord, but I'll always be sure to note that. And when I do that, let's just take this G major 7 chord. The numbers are going to stand for the first interval, the major 7th, the 3rd, and the 5th. Those aren't fingers. But I'll always clearly note that. Most of the time in my videos when I'm teaching theory, I'll show the chord with the numbers for the fingers, and then underneath the chart I'll put up what intervals are in the chord. If you see a chord chart and there's a number next to it, that number denotes which fret is directly next to that number. So if there's an 8 next to it, then that space or line is the 8th fret on the chord chart. Another type of chord chart you might see is one that has note names. So let's just take a G major chord. This is a chart with the note names instead of the fingers, and it'll be clearly obvious because it'll have letters instead of numbers. Every once in a while on the internet you'll come across a chart that has an X in a weird spot, and that almost always means to block that note. So an example of that we'll just take a minor 7 chord. It could be shown this way because you're blocking that with this finger, but I wouldn't show it that way, and I don't think most people would. The last weird type of diagram you might see is a Ted Green chord chart. He would use circles, X's, squares, and triangles to show up to 4 notes of movement in one chart. Here's the Ted Green way to chart out this little movement right here. And he would say to hold the notes as long as you could for whatever you're playing, so you don't release anything that you don't have to. So you wouldn't go, you would go. You still have all the notes ringing. So that's how you read a Ted Green chart, and the circle was first, then the X, then the square, then the triangle. So this lesson wrapped up all the most basic stuff that you have to know to start learning guitar, and in the next set of lessons I'll start to talk about theory and some basic guitar techniques. Hit the like button, subscribe to my channel if you don't already. I make new videos all the time. And I'll put a link to my website, birdsnakebrown.com, in the description. And you can find the charts and all that kind of stuff on the website, as well as all my lessons categorized. Thanks so much for joining me on your musical journey. I love playing guitar. It's my favorite thing to do, and I really just want to share that with you guys. Anyway, I'm Birdsnake. Thanks for watching.